Our top story at this hour, in what could be a big concern for South Korea, U.S. President Donald Trump says that he's unhappy with American participation in the joint military exercises with the country and has ordered the drills substantially reduced. Now, the move comes as the annual exercises aimed at deterring nuclear-armed North Korea begin, despite Seoul saying that they will proceed as scheduled. Trump made this announcement on Truth Social, saying that the exercises are costly and send an inappropriate and hostile signal to Pyongyang. He said that it was too late to cancel the drills, but has ordered the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to substantially reduce American participation. He also stated on Truth Social that South Korea had recently declined to join the United States in the denuclearization of Iran. South Korea's presidential office said that it hoped the personal chemistry between Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un would bring them back to talks. In fact, he also cited his very good relationship with North Korea's leader Kim Jong Un, saying, and I quote, "Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong Un of North Korea, I'm not happy with the fact that the United States has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea." Now, the South said on Monday that it had worked closely with the U.S. on their defense posture, and they would continue to do so after President Trump said that ongoing joint military drills would be scaled back. The 11-day Ulchi Freedom Shield exercise begins today, and it is designed to prepare the U.S. and South Korean forces for a potential North Korean attack. America has around 28,500 troops stationed in South Korea, and roughly 18,000 South Korean troops and American forces are taking part in this year's drills. The exercise will focus on threats including drone warfare, GPS disruption, and cyber attacks. North Korea has long condemned these drills as invasion rehearsals, while the U.S. and South Korea described them as defensive. Now, Trump's comments also revived questions over his North Korea strategy. During his first term, remember, Trump had held talks with the North Korean leader, Kim Jong Un, but negotiations failed to halt Pyongyang's nuclear program. Since then, the North has expanded its nuclear and missile capabilities and deepened military ties with Russia, including reportedly sending troops and ammunition to support Moscow's war in Ukraine. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung has offered Pyongyang talks without preconditions, but North Korea is yet to respond. On the other hand, the United States is pulling its last forward-deployed aircraft carrier from Asia. The USS George Washington is heading west to relieve the overstretched USS Abraham Lincoln amid the Iran war. The move leaves a temporary carrier gap in the Pacific, giving China a potential strategic opening while raising fresh questions over America's ability to manage two theaters at once. Earlier, we spoke with Dr. Robert Edwin Kelly, professor of political science at the Pusan National University, on this issue. Take a listen.
Donald Trump has been really caught out in the open and sort of embarrassed at the progress or the lack of in the war with Iran. He's looking for a scapegoat. The American election is coming up in November. We all know that Donald Trump has a lot of trouble processing failures and setbacks. He has a tendency to blame other people. And I think that's what he's doing. He's lashing out at U.S. allies. We know that he's done this to the Europeans in the past. He's blamed the British and the French and so on for not helping in Iran with the Iran war. And he said this about South Korea and Japan as well. And so it seems to me that's really what this is. This is sort of more peak than anything else. I'm not sure if it has any major strategic significance. I think it's fairly late to scale back the exercises. I mean, a lot of the force flow is already on the move. I'm not really sure how that could be done. And, you know, you can go over a year or so, I guess, without these things taking place. But, I mean, it does sort of suggest the wider concern that you mentioned, right, about sort of American reliability and everything else, right? The American president feels comfortable going on TV, just sort of like, you know, or Twitter or whatever, you're shouting at U.S. allies. So if you're a U.S. ally, you're wondering if the Americans are reliable. And, you know, Trump's raised those questions and problems for years now.